Welcome one and all. Step right up and get your tickets for another moment in gaming history. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome officially to the channel. This is a series where I go into various different moments in video game history, and today I want to talk about a type of technology used in video games to make them look more realistic. One that was popularized in the 90s by games like Pit Fighter and Mortal Kombat, but goes back far further than anyone, including myself, realizes. So, let's take a moment, sit back, and dive in a bit as we explore a technology that is an interesting step in video game history: digitized sprites. Sprite-based graphics, for those of you who may not be familiar, used to be the way to develop games. Characters would be designed pixel by pixel. Character designers would even often use graph paper in the early days to design digitized characters, using each block to determine the parameters and color of each pixel that would make up the character that they wanted to design. Each frame of animation would have to be done this way, making it a time-consuming and often tedious process to develop characters. The advantage is obvious though. The characters were easier to store as it would take up far less room than modern-day renders and 3D models. However, they came with some serious drawbacks. The process often left players with simpler character designs and simpler animations. One of these limitations had a bit of a workaround with the advent of digitized sprites. The idea is pretty simple and honestly really similar to the way digital photography works. You see, an image is taken and then analyzed by a computer into individual pixels. Those pixels can then be used in the place of traditionally designed sprites. The advantage is pretty simple. Instead of having to use graph paper or just understand pixel locations, you have an image as a base with all that data contains. This is similar to the way a digital camera will take a sensory image of whatever it's looking at. The processor will then analyze what it sees and store it as ones and zeros, each one with a position and color gradient instead of the old analog way of exposing a film cell to light so that it imprints an image onto it. This style of pixel/sprite-based graphics had a very distinct style. To most, that screams 90s. However, like I hinted at before, this goes back prior to all that, all the way back to 1983, in fact. In 1983, a game named Journey was released. This was an arcade game where the character uses an 8-way joystick and a button to collect the band's instruments. Yeah, I should probably explain who Journey is for those of you who might be younger. Journey was a popular progressive rock band formed in 1973 and at their most active till 1987, with a total of 25 gold and platinum albums. Suffice it to say, they were pretty popular and as such, ripe to have a video game made about them. Now, in this game you had 5 different mini-games, and each one of these would take one of the band members, which you would require to get that band member to their instrument and back. All this was done to one of the band's electronically synthesized tracks. This is where the digitation comes in. You see, each minigame that had a band member would have images of their faces digitized and put on the body of the character. So in a sense, you were effectively playing as that band member trying to get their instrument back. Now, this isn't the best example of this application, but it's the earliest I was able to find. It wouldn't be until 1990 that this type of tech would see a larger surge in popularity with Pit Fighter, which, while rough, was leagues above what we'd had from Journey in the 80s. It would really come into its own with the Mortal Kombat series, which is still to this day one of the most recognizable and well-regarded examples of mapping real movements to the animations on the screen of the characters and giving us that iconic Mortal Kombat look that would draw players in unlike anything before it. However, what do you guys think of this one? Do you think this is a cool moment in gaming history? Did any of you actually play the arcade game Journey? What do you think of digitized sprites on the whole? Were you actually a fan of this style at all? Let me know in the comments. For now though, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. If I can ask you for one more favor, please leave this video a like. And if you haven't, consider subscribing. It really does help me out. For now though, thank you once again, and until next time, happy gaming.